Okay, welcome to our team call tonight. We are Monday, March the 8th. It's hard to believe that we have been in a year of this COVID craziness, crisis already. Insane, right? But alas, we had Zoom popular before Zoom was a thing, right? So some of us have been using this format to build our businesses and to network like this for quite some time. Easy transition for many of us who are also strong introverts in this coaching world. Anyway, I wanted to open, I kind of started talking about the seasons of coaching and feeling, like we're failing forward. And I think because we work in an industry that is so fluid, it is evolving so constantly, literally from week to week, and from month to month, the algorithms and what you should be posting and how you should be posting, and those things are changing so much. So I want to remind you that there are going to be times when you end up in a season where you feel overwhelmed with the amount of change that's happening, with the rate of flow, the rate and the pace of information that's coming at you. There was a time in this business when we had like one program launch a year, and things were much slower, and there was one call that we were on, and now there's so many places that we can be in. There's so many launches, and there's so much information coming at us. I just want to remind you that with these waves that come at us, to catch a wave, you don't have to ride all the waves, and you don't have to know all the things all the time. But what you do need to do is make sure that your heart is in this, and you're doing the things that bring you joy, and that you're stretching yourself in this business. I've just come out of a little season of overwhelm. I was saying, like, it feels like when we were starting this call, I was talking about the link was broken and the password was wrong, and I have to double check things, and I'm not used to double checking things when other people post them for me. And this process of coaching is a lot about failing forward and falling on our face and learning as we go, and picking ourselves back up and putting one foot in front of the other, and just trying to keep up with the seasons of change as we go through our seasons of change in our own personal lives. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much because Christina is going to be our host for tonight's call. We're going to co-host together, but she has been a coach on our team for a while now, but she caught her fire really recently, and she has really put herself out there and has helped inspire me. She is like, I remember when I was grinding, and you got kids in the bath and you're listening to a call, and you're like, Christina is that person, and she like rapid fire messages me when she gets inspired about something, and like keeps me on my toes, and is helping to relight my fire and keep me inspired in this business. Again, like going through seasons, sometimes we're in a season where we just don't have that fire anymore, and it's amazing in this community that we have all of us, and we can catch that fire from each other. And I love that so much. Like, despite the season that we're ever in, we are constantly surrounded by crazy, amazing people, men and women, in this community that just keep us on a high. Anyways, Christina, I would love for you to share a little bit about your story when you kind of got introduced to Beachbody, and when you started coaching, and how that kind of evolved and how it's progressed recently. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh boy, I don't know how much time we have, but this is going to be rapid fire is right. So I am a little crazy, as Alida says, and I think I've gotten crazier as time goes on. So just to preface, I kind of tried to figure out, like, where do I start? Where do I start my story? And the reality is if you listen to things now, you always hear people say like, okay, working on Beachbody, like you got to find your niche. And it's like, okay, enough with the niche. I don't know what my niche is. I always say to Alida, I don't know where to look. I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know who am I messaging? Like, what is this all about? So when Lita said, well, kind of tell your story, I went, oh crap. Okay, so where do you start? But you know what? And I strongly encourage you to take that time to really think about, like, go back in your time and think like, where did you really start? Because that made me realize, wow, I really have a lot of niches that I could really be digging into. And it wasn't until I went a little ways back. So I'm going to go quite a ways back. I'll try and make it as quick as I can. So growing up, I wasn't an active kid. I mean, I was and I wasn't. I danced for 13 years. I did a little swimming. I did a little sports, but I wasn't, you know what, gym class? Nuh-uh, no way. Don't make me run. Don't make me do sports. I will hide in that girl's bathroom before you make me run those basketball courts. I hated gym. I hated anything to do with exercise other than dancing. Okay, so then we fast forward to high school. So I kind of take a job at the swimming pool and I start teaching swimming lessons and I start meeting people who work there that were avid runners and a full family of runners, like Boston Marathon, triathlon, Iron Woman, like, you know, the whole shebang. And they kind of get me geared up and teach me a little bit about healthy living. I didn't grow up with that. So I kind of enjoyed it and I started running and I met more people through the pool and I started running more. And then I went to university and I went to get an education degree. And yeah, some years when I was there, it was a year of exercise, and some years it was a year of pizza and wings. It was like, I never had the nutrition background. I am very much the yo yo, like the up, the down. I'll lose it, I'll gain it, I'll lose it, I'll gain it. So, yeah, some years were great, some years were crazy. Um, Ended a teaching degree and decided this is kind of where my life kind of started. Is I didn't want to teach, I didn't want to be a teacher. So I stayed back a year in the city and I worked in a gym. And working at the gym, I was very much given an eye opener as to the people who come into a gym. And this has been a great background for me when we talk about bod, because now I realize I am not a gym person, and the mentality that people have when they come in is very eye opening. Some were inspiring, some were very scary to watch. But in that time, I also met a lady who was a wonderful, she was training to bodybuild. So we became great friends. I was inspired by her. I watched her and I thought that was amazing because she's transforming very quickly. But it was also nutrition, which I still didn't have. I kind of smartened up and said, no, time to get to work. You know, you need some money here. You got to live. So I did move to Grand Prairie and I taught for a couple of years there. And once again, fitness fell out. I always kind of liked it, kind of didn't. My third year in Grand Prairie, I decided, you know what? I don't like it anymore. I didn't like teaching. I was moved to a school. I didn't like it. And that was where my real journey began, because I decided, you know what? Fitness is back in my life. So I actually went to the college there and took some courses on fitness theory, got my personal training ticket, got my group exercise ticket. And I decided, you know, this is it. This is time. And I called up my bodybuilding friend from the city and said, I want to compete. Can you help me? Sure. I'll help you diet down. 26 weeks of dieting down. And she hooked me up with a personal trainer. I never once stepped in a gym to do my bodybuilding. Never once. All machines at home, everything at home. Dieting was hard. And I had somebody once say, never do it. Never do it because it's going to mess with your mind. And it did. But it also gave me the mindset of, when I hear people talk about their nutrition, I know where they're coming from now. So dieted down, did the competition. In the meantime, I've also decided I don't want to live in Grand Prairie anymore, too far from my family. I move home. I take a job. My mom decides she's going to quit teaching for a year. My dad wasn't well. I need some money, so I take the job and I teach group exercise courses to the community, and I do personal training for the staff, and I'm prepping for a competition. So a lot of background there. Finish that competition, decide I'm going to do another one, because it's the mentality, the mindset of the nutrition. I didn't want to gain the weight, and I decided the best way to do it was to go back in and compete again, which is the most ridiculous mindset in the world. Back in I went, but I actually ended up getting sick with fluid under the lining of my heart, which isn't as scary as it sounds. It does, but it's not. So I quit. And guess what? I ballooned quite dramatically, because you eat all the things you're not allowed to eat, and I don't have a nutrition background. Fast forward a little further, my husband and I decide, okay, we've been married, we're going to start a family. Well, that kind of went to the wayside because we had to do IVF. Long story, we won't go there, but we ended up having to do IVF. But in the meantime, I also know I'm going to be spending a lot of money and I need to be healthy. So I find a trainer. Here I go again. I have all the background, but I don't have the esteem to do it. So I hire a trainer, say, okay, let's go. Helps me tremendously. And it was because of him that I began to realize you need to think about how food affects you and how the foods you eat will enhance your life or not. And it really made me think about what you eat and how you feel after it. That was his biggest thing. He would never once ask me what I weighed. He never once said, so how much weight did you drop? Which was the bodybuilding mentality. And I actually lost the most amount of weight in the healthiest way with the least amount of exercise, 30 minutes a day, very much like bod, and eating very healthy meals. So lost the weight, baby one comes along, great. I now have some tools under my tool belt, decide to I lose all the weight, have baby number two, great. Baby number three, I'm determined for baby number three, doesn't work. So we had to start looking at well, she's a Beachbody coach who has been doing Body Beast, shredded. And I'm like, what are you doing? So we hook up. She gets me into running again. She gets me into workouts. And I'll talk about one of her accountability groups. She hooked me back in. Great. I'm in heaven. But she decides to go back to work and quit coaching. So I lose a coach. Fast forward, and then I decide, you know what, this is it. I keep looking. We do end up having baby number three. But in the meantime, I've met the coach Lori, who's introduced me to Hannah, who is actually Alida's upline. And this is where I kind of start thinking, okay, this is really fun. I love these workouts. I did P90X and Beachbody through my entire third pregnancy. I did P90X the morning of my C-section and only to realize I couldn't have water. Great, healthy, whatever, fantastic pregnancy. Off we go, have baby three. And I struggle to lose the weight because I don't have nutrition skills again. And it's a mindset. It's completely a mindset. So after a while, Lori's like, Tina, you should be a coach. You should be a coach. You should be a coach. Okay, great. I'm in. But I'm also a teacher. So I have to be very careful with what I post. And I had this big fear in the back of my head of, I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get called on. I can't post that. I can't post that. And Lori kept saying, Tina, you can. You can. And I was like, no, can't post that. And I loved what I was doing. I kind of would start. I spent a whole summer learning about what was in the sisterhood training site. And then I pulled back and I was like, no, I can't. Yes, I can. So I would post. I'd post nutrition. I would post my family. We went on a trip. We ate candy for a week. We came home and all decided, you know what, that was brutal. We're going to smarten up. And our reward was horseback riding. So I posted all about that and I shared all that. And it was going really well until my biggest fear was, yes, I had a parent say, hey, you know what, that lady, Mrs. Griffiths, she has a website and did you check it out? So I got a call from the principal, said, hey, can you come in? We need to talk about this, digital citizenship. And I was like, oh, crap. So once she did scan through my stuff and realized I was doing nothing more than motivating people, she was like, whatever. But that pushed me far enough back that I quit. I was done. And then like about a month ago, no, last March, a year ago, March-ish, I had continued to gain weight. And just, when you gain weight and then nothing really is good, everything's negative and you become so sour, and the whole world around me became sour. It became negative, and I was probably the most poisonous person. I hated my job. I hated the people I worked with. And really, I didn't. I just hated everything. I was a miserable bitch. I was miserable. I won't even lie. To the point where it was March, COVID hit, we were teaching from home, and I was done. I was so done. And I decided it was time. It was time to take my life back. And I didn't know how to do it, but I knew that if I didn't push play, and I've been pushing play, exercise has been a daily thing every day, but I was never doing it enough to make it an effort to actually go somewhere. And I thought, no, that's it. So I took my phone, I put it up on my little stand, and I started taking every Monday was transformation videos. What I was going to do with them, I didn't know, but I was going to do something. Every Monday was a transformation. And I started with the prep, and then I was going to do the work. But I'll back up a second. I had a massive hamstring injury the prior year where I actually snapped the entire hamstring it slid down the bone. I snapped it behind, like it was gone. So I had to heal from that. It was a bad injury. Anyway, prep in the work was a little too hard. So I went back to lift 4. And you know what? I had phenomenal results. But the biggest result was the fact that I changed inside. So I started podcasts again. Melanie Mitro, Brennan Bouchard, reading You Are a Badass, reading The Secret, reading anything I could get my hands on. I would go to bed at night and I would hide under the covers because I have to put my little guy to bed. He would be asleep and I'd be under the covers with my earbuds in and I'd be listening to any podcast. And I will say, if you need a PD book, anything by Andy Andrews. So look at me, I have books everywhere. The Traveler's Gift was one of the books that really changed my thought process. It's 7 steps they teach you through story about how to change your life. And it just kind of gave me that insight of transformation. So Traveler's Gifts. And then Hannah, in the meantime, too, I'd reached out to Hannah and said, help me, please. What do we do? So Hannah helped me in September and we decided, you know what? I'm game for this. So we started a free September group. We started running I think it was just a free 5-day group. I started journaling and I started really being aware of how I wanted to be when I posted. And I wanted to be that motivational and inspirational person. So that's what I posted mostly was, you can do this. It's hard, but you can do it. Prior to this, I've also helped a lot of my friends and family through cancer. So I currently am helping another lady right now who's in the mindset of she's going through some treatments. She's really not happy and she's kind of stuck. She gets stuck often. And I have been that person who will motivate you and say, like, let's go. I will send you the morning motivation on your phone if you need. I will phone you every day. I will send you a song to start your day. Whatever you need me to do, I will be that person. Because if I had a friend who went for divorce or was through divorce and it was hard on her kids. So every morning I'd send a happy song for them to dance to. Something so simple that would just, it's nothing dramatic. It's just enough to get them going through the day to make them smile. And I found that that's kind of the way I led through. And then my journaling, my inspiration. So when I run my groups now, that's kind of my first focus of the day. Every day is a morning mindset. I'll give you all the other things, but I think that the mindset was the biggest. So in December, when I noticed some big changes, and so did my husband, who didn't say anything, but he was an avid worker outer, and then he quit. And I noticed the biggest change when he silently one day put on his running shoes and he picked up his towel and his water bottle. And my kids have seen me every morning. They know where to find me. I'm in the basement working out. But when he put his running shoes on and put his towel on, and my kids went, where's Dad going? I said, he's going to go work out. Oh, nobody really knew what to do, but it was amazing to see. And then my younger daughter wanted to start running on the treadmill again. And things just kind of all came back together, the pieces. So it was a great little transformation. And when I look back, as I went through my history and I think about, where's my niche? Well, obviously I love motivating. That's my passion. I don't have the nutrition background, hence my yo-yos of up and down. And I still struggle. Throughout all of this, I had to dig deep and find where are my niches. Well, that's what they are. I motivate. I'll look for anybody who's done through the IVF situation. I'll look through anybody who's just lost. If you're lost, I'll find you and I'll help you. I'll pull you back, in whatever way that looks. So, I don't know what else to say. That's kind of where we're at. But that was the biggest thing, is when I dropped my transformation picture in December, a lot of people came out of the woodwork, messaging and saying, dealing with depression, I'm dealing with anxiety. They related to the story. And I do want to share a piece that, when you think, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't know what to post. That's such a big thing. I don't know what to post. What am I doing? While my earbuds were in under the covers, I'd done a lot of free groups. I will always hop in a free group, but Tony Robbins, Brennan Bouchard. And once Brennan Bouchard had a whole bunch of really awesome people on, and one of them was Jay Shetty. And I don't remember all of it, but his biggest thing is there's about 3 things or 4 things that you're going to post about that are going to pull people towards you. And I only remember 2. One of them is humor. If you can make somebody laugh, they're going to stay on your page. And the other is emotion. And if you can emit emotion or get them to connect with your story or whatever you're posting, you've got them. You've hooked them. They're yours. And I think that's what I did with my post is I explained where I was and where I came, and that it wasn't just a body transformation, it was an internal transformation. That has to start with your mind. You have to start with your mindset. If you don't, you're screwed. And that if you let fear run you, fear will run you. And I've often said, I think back to some of the conversations with the people that I've tried to help or have helped, and they've said, I can't. You're right. If you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. You're right. And one of the big things I teach my own kids and my students is I don't say, what did you do good at today? What did you fail at today? And they hate that question because, I don't want to fail, but if you don't fail, you're not learning, you're not moving forward. So you have to fail forward. You have to every day. You have to have something you're working towards. And currently that's me trying to find my niche. But I don't know what else you want me to say. That was a lot. That was a lot more.
Oh, it's perfect. I love that because it segues so naturally into, like, I wanted to share a couple of slides helping with finding not necessarily like our niche and people who are like us and expanding our network. I think something that people struggle with so much right now is I can't find people, like, oh, the market is so saturated. Oh, and I can't find people and I can't find people. It's because you're not looking in the right places. So what we really need to do is start finding people in those places. And if you are doing the work, if you are posting on your feed, if you are posting your stories, if you're doing, like Christina said, using humor and using the tools. I want to backtrack for a second. Hey, Jamie, I think, did you just finish your sweat session or just starting? Either way, I'm glad you're joining us. But like using the tools, Instagram, like I haven't listened to the most recent, I know I posted in the team page, the thing that Angela shared with us, like the most recent things for Instagram posting, but like Instagram wants us to use their tools. So if you're posting in your stories right now, but you're not adding music to your pictures, or you're not adding a poll or a GIF or any of the extras. Like if you go into your Instagram, like push the story thing, like they want you to use all of these other options that are in there. The mention, the hashtag, the musics, the questions, the countdowns, the quiz. Like they really want us to be using those tools and engaging. And so the more you start to really interact with the platform and start to get used to it, the more engagement you're going to see. And, and I mean, failing forward, again, it can be overwhelming to try and adapt to doing all the things. But if you've got your stories up, you're showing that you're proof of the product, right? Like you're showing that you're doing your meal prep, you're showing you're doing your workouts, you're sharing inspirational things that are inspiring, you're sharing recognition, all of those things that are in our Success Club tracker, in the online office. If you're already doing those things in your stories, all we need to do is get people's eyes on them, right? I used to say all the time, like, you can't serve the same bowl of chips to the same guests at a party. The same 30 people don't want your salt and vinegar chips. You're gonna have to bring out some freaking pretzels, right? Or you're gonna have to find some new people and bring some new guests to your party, because at the end of the day, party's gonna suck, right? So we have to just get some new people to your party. And yeah.
Can I just pop in? Just something I'd learned in the last while too was you want to use your Instagram and your Facebook to post as information for your new people, for your new followers. And that's like your billboard, right? That's like your everything. Your stories are for those who already exist and they are following you. They're just getting more from you. They're not new people. So I've started to kind of keep that in the back of my mind when I post now. When I post on a page for Instagram or anything, that's where your new eyes are going to be. So what do you want to attract with? Whereas your stories are just people watching your daily life and eventually are going to want to say, hey, what is that? Like, it took me since March. And that was the other thing. I just hopped in and said, I'm doing this. Like, I'm just going to post. I don't care anymore. I'm just posting. And I called every morning. I posted. energized, but I called it my go-go juice.
Mhm.
Everybody I talk to now who has watched and watched my stories every day, I've never posted it on my feed, just my stories because they're my warm market. And they're like, what is your go-go juice? What is your, now people, everybody I talk to, they're like, that's go-go juice. What is that go-go juice? They know it, but you need to keep your IG and your Facebook as your billboard to attract new people, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
And you want to, if you're posting in your stories, the other piece was don't slam all your stuff into your stories at the beginning of the day and don't come back to it. If
Yeah.
you want to keep your eyes on people, you want to post every
Hour.
hour so that it keeps popping back up to the front of the row. That's why whoever you're seeing in the beginning are the people who are posting every 20 minutes, half an hour. And I mean, we don't have that kind of time, we have other things we need to do, but just throughout the day randomly to just pop something in, a quick recipe, a quick inspirational quote, I mean, a picture of your food, whatever it is.
In Angie's thing that she shared the other day, it said only to share what, 2 stories a day. Is that literally, I read that back and was like, shut the front door. I'm sharing like 20 stories a day. And at the same time though, I realized like I took so many pictures tonight when I was at the park with the kids, and it's like, I don't have to post them all today. Like, I don't have to post them today just because they happened today. And I think sometimes we get that in our head is like, oh, well, I missed that opportunity. Like, go back through your reel, go back through your album, go back through, because you can rehash, repurpose, reuse a lot of those things. And gosh, I still have all these slides. Well, and I'll share them too. But
Yeah.
if you go back to your stories, I actually like, do you guys know how to add to your highlights? Does everybody know how to add to your highlights on Instagram? Like, you don't have to add stories to your highlights today. Like, if you don't have highlights right now on your main Instagram feed and you're finding it overwhelming to think like, oh, I have to create those highlights, you don't have to create them from scratch. You can update your highlights at any time by going into your archive, into your story archive. Clicking on the 3 lines up at the top right-hand side, and then click on archive. And there's all your stories archived. And you can take any of those and add them to your highlights at any time. So you could literally have, I just actually added a new, what did I call it? Change files. Tab, like, so that, you know how sometimes you share a message someone sent to you, or your client lost 12 pounds and or they shared something in their group. So I added a change file, like kind of our evidence file, if you will. And so I went back because I started thinking it would be so daunting to create that, like, this is my story or this is my coaching story. You can go back through your stories and create your story in your highlights just by using your archives. I didn't actually realize it was that simple until not that long ago. I was like last week years old when I found that out.
How long do those highlights stay?
Forever. You pin them. So
Okay.
when somebody comes to your main Instagram now, and like, this is what I'm saying, when we go into these slides and we start getting these new people's eyes on your feed, to me, the first thing that I want to do, like, I do want to go to those highlights. I'm like, what is this person all about? It says, oh, business. Well, what's their business? I'm like, oh, like, what's this all about? Like, so I've started to go to the people who are hosting all of these power hour calls. I've been going and looking at what their link tree looks like. What do they have in their link tree? It's like, they have stuff like their Amazon, anything that you love, guys. Like, you can have an Amazon affiliate link as an influencer now. So anything that you love, you could have something in your link tree. And so anytime somebody says, Jamie, I love your shirt, where'd you get it? Just be like, oh, I've got it linked back in my link tree. And it's like Jamie's Fave Fit gear, whatever. And you could, and everything can be linked back to an Amazon affiliate link. So you're getting kickback from all of these different things that people are asking you for. Oh, what book is that? Oh, Unfuck Yourself. It's pinned back in my blah, blah, blah. When they go click the link, I get the kickback from that, right? So like start thinking outside the box, ways that you can use this business to continue to expand in monetary ways in other forms, right? I digress. But getting those new eyes on this page, I went back in and I'm looking at Lori Stewart and I'm looking at Chelsea Pearson, all these people who are hosting these not national wake up calls, the power hours. And I'm like, okay, going back, reading, what have they got in their bio? What do their highlights look like? What does their main feed look like? What are they using? And a lot of it, like Christina said, the humor, the reels. And it's really not that hard to create a reel. You can create your video in advance and you can upload photos and you can create reels really easily just by exploring the reels tab and saving the audio. Does anybody here not know how to do a reel yet? Has anybody not done a reel? Can we challenge you to learn how to do a reel between now and next Monday? Is anybody not raising their hand because they're scared shitless to be pressured to do a reel? Or
they're so much fun.
They are fun. I need to do them more. I keep losing Christina. I don't know where she disappears to. Does anybody else lose her when she talks? Do you? I lost her for a chunk of time earlier when she was talking, and I thought
and she was really into it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I know, and you put your hands up, and I was like, "Who is she talking about?" And I was like, "She must have been talking about like pregnancy or something," because Angela was like, "Oh, me." I was like, "I missed the party." No clue, but whatever it was good. Okay, good. Not just me. Okay. Anyways, I want to share some of the slides that I stole from a power hour that I did, Christina and I did on Saturday, about networking. And it's like really helping me to think outside the box where to find people, because I think sometimes we get in our own way. And this is just a starter to get you working on looking for people who are like you and live in your area and are into the things that you're into. And again, I think sometimes we overthink it, and so it becomes hard. So these were really awesome memory, like mind joggers for me. I'll show you them while I kind of speak to them here. Sorry, that was crazy. Okay, so this one said, before we network, focus on finding people you could sit at a bar with. I don't drink, so park with, whatever. Not who you can sell to. Focus on exposing as many people to this opportunity. So again, getting as many eyes on your stories, getting as many eyes on your page, getting as many people's eyes on you as possible, not on who you think will say yes. So these were awesome. Let's find new friends. Let's start with local. So start thinking about, and even jot them down if you start thinking about them right now. Where you live right now in your town, what are the parks nearby? Where are the beaches? Where do you frequent? What restaurants do you go to? If you go into Instagram and you look up that hashtag and recent, you're going to see all the posts of all the people who have recently been there. Those are people who obviously like the same kind of food as you do, or like the same kind of shop as you do. Hashtag the local gym. Go in and look at the followers from that gym. I just did that the other day, actually. The gym down the street from me, I went to all of their followers, and I'm looking for people, number one, who are already sharing stories, because I can go and look at them and get a feel for them, and I can slide into their DM right away. Like, I follow them, I can follow them right away. They have a public profile, they're sharing stories. So as soon as somebody has a story, I go in and I just go through, like, Palomore Park. I'll go up there. I'll go there right now. Palomore Park. I want to go to that place, and recent, and literally this is what I will spend time doing. Go to the recent ones, not the top ones. I'll go through and I will find these people. This girl looks amazing. She has a public profile. I'm going to follow her. And then what I'm going to do is grab one of her posts, and I'm going to click the flag. As soon as the flag comes up, it says save to collection. Okay, I take that collection and I add that person to my list right now, which is March new friends. Okay, so that March new friends, those are the people that I'm going to start loving on. And I'm going to start, like, when I start double tapping on their stuff, they're going to see me, right? So that's what I do. I save them to a list. She doesn't have any stories. So moving on. If she had stories, I would slide into her inbox right away. There's another girl. Doesn't really look my jam. So I'm not going to follow her. Oh, she's super cute. Ooh, and she posts a lot too. Ooh, yes, your hair is gorgeous. Gorgeous, girlfriend. And I just ripped a Band-Aid off. It's really not that hard. Anyways, and just I try to add as many as I can while my timer is set, my 15 minutes. And so this is this one. So think about the town. Think about where you frequent, the beaches that you go to. Think about the gyms, the schools, the malls, all of those places that you go to. Here's some more. Think about the products that you use, the stuff that you use for your hair. Do you have curly hair? Can you look up the hashtag for like frizz control? Are there certain clothing boutiques that you go to? Are you into home decor? Oh, somebody was just talking the other day about redoing their kitchen table and looking at like DIY kitchen table ideas. Like think about the things that you're currently doing in your life, the projects that you have going on. Are you painting your kitchen cabinet? You know, there's home decor, like what are those the TV shows? You know what I mean? The home decor TV shows. You can go to those and start looking at their followers and go through those. Different subscriptions, the food boxes that come to your house, or what's the one that's Fit Fab Fun? Go look through those followers. You can start to see people through there. Like it really is so much easier than we think. We make it hard. You could spend hours and hours and hours just on two of these. And we talked a little bit about this earlier. Your seasons of life. What phase are you in your life? You know, we have a lot of people on our team who have gone through recent loss in their lives. We have people on our team who are recovering from injuries. We have people who have recently had babies, and we have people who are sweating for the wedding. We have so many different things. If you have a pet, like you can hashtag Malamute, and you can look up Malamute mom and fur baby love. You know, what are the things? What are the things? We could truly spend forever on just one of these slides. But as you like take on the rest of this week, and when you set aside your time to do your power hour, I want you to really start thinking about these things. Where are you going to find your new people? Because if you're not getting new eyes on your page and you're not inviting those new people to your party, like the people who are at your party don't want your chips. So we gotta get people to your party. These are other ones, like I'm not a huge follower of celebrities, but people love celebrities and love to be in the know, and you can easily go through the followers of those celebrities. You can go through the comments. You can engage and reply in comments. You can start networking and slide into somebody's DM right from there. Oh, there was another one. When we talk about products back here, Lori Stewart is one who's like on fire when it comes to sliding into people's DMs. She's like, oh, hey girlfriend, how's that shirt fit or whatever, or she has new eyeliner or new mascara, and she just asks these questions, and she just gets right in. She'll read the comments and she'll just message right from the comments, but like genuinely things that she's interested in. And you know, when I was into Moxie lashes, I should have thought about that before. You know, look at people who are looking at Moxie lash, and what are your favorite style? What liner did you get? Hey, I saw that you were following the Moxie lash page. You know, have you used them before? Just start asking questions, start engaging with them. Anyways, these were like mind blowing for me to kind of put into perspective how many places there are to find people when we, we're like, oh, I'm from a small town. Like, it doesn't matter. Instagram, this isn't the time. These aren't the creepy days. These aren't the creepy days where we're on Facebook and people are like, do I know you? Like Instagram, people are hashtagging because they're looking to connect with people who are into the same thing. So you're not being creepy. The other thing that I really loved about like hopping onto these, onto the power hours is just recognizing how much I'm not taking advantage of the people who are already watching me. Like, why am I not messaging the people whose eyes are already in my stories? Why am I not just saying like, how often do you actually go and look at who's, unless they've messaged you and you're responding back to them, how often do you go into your actual viewers of your stories, click on their name and go and love on their profile and go look through their stories? So I've started to do that. Like, you can spend an hour just from one post. Like, if you have over 100 likes, you can spend an entire power hour, like, just reconnecting and loving with other people who are already loving on you. Like, love them back, comment on their stuff, reconnect with them. This is a multi-level marketing business. This is about connecting with other people. And if we're not spending that time connecting, if we're just posting, you're not connecting with the people who are liking your stuff, and you're really missing the boat, right? So I don't know why for a while I stopped doing that, but now it's like I go into my story and I look and it's like, oh wow, haven't talked to her in so long. It doesn't even matter if you say like, I saw that you've been watching my stories. Go to their page, go like on something for them, just get in their inbox, just start a conversation based on something, get in their inbox. Like, that has to be our mission, is to connect. And you open that door. This is an invitation to connect with me. We need to start, like, stop overthinking what it means to invite someone. You're inviting someone into your life through opening a door to conversation. You're inviting someone into, it's that simple. It's truly that simple to engage in conversation. That is, yes, when you're focusing on getting to 2-star diamond, you're not going to count those as your invite. You're not going to count those as your invitation to a challenge group kind of thing. But if you're trying to get unstuck from where you are right now, in order to make sure that you can move forward and have those people to invite, it's got to be, you got to find the people. Finding the people it's just really neat to start having those new conversations, fresh conversations. And when it is new people, you get excited again, right? It's not the same old people in your group and the same commenters, or you're not stressing about the fact that your post only has 1 comment or 10 likes, because you've connected with so many people on your own and you've added their eyes to your page and you have them saved to your collection. So you have people that you're loving on too, and you're not just sitting back waiting for those people to find you. You're putting in the work and you're doing the effort and you're finding them. That's what's going to help make you the income. That's what's going to help you to find the people who are going to join your challenge group. But we have to get outside of our own way to find the people who are going to be able to join us in the first place. People who are like us.
I'm just going to hop in there too. And one thing I really noticed is that, like, I just posted for the last week, I did my own sugar detox, and I kind of started with sharing, I've had enough. My brain fog has come back. I'm going to start, kind of leading up to knowing I was going to do a 5-day offering a free detox. And I offered it in my personal group. I offered it on my stories. I offered it on my page, and it was like crickets. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? You come to me constantly asking me for, what do I do and what do I eat? And I'm offering this for free, and you're not hopping on it. And people are scared. What I have found is people are scared. So I quietly go to their messenger and say, hey, by the way, I noticed you were watching. I am going to be running a free informational, because as soon as you say challenge group, they freak out. Don't know what that is. That means I got to do something. A free information on sugar. You can choose to do it as a detox. You can choose it as an information. Would that interest you? Like, is that something you'd like? Um, and I always know my people, and I always put a disclaimer. No, you do not have to purchase anything. No, you do not have to participate other than reading. And those people come flying out with like, and also I've noticed as soon as one person will post, slowly the rest will come. But sometimes they just don't want to. They're scared to be that first person to say, I'm in. So don't be scared to just, your people, go into their messenger and say, hey, would you be interested? Would you want to do this? Or, whatever it is, however you would want to be approached. That's the biggest thing. How would you want that to read if you opened your messenger? Don't, hey girl, don't, hey girl.
Well, I think if they're
what would
already
you wanna
watching
read?
you, like they're watching for a reason, and like they listen to you for a reason, right? They would have exited otherwise, right? Like if they stayed through and they're watching, and I remember being told like that's somebody who's silently saying like, pick me, like
Yeah.
like please message me, like because I'm so scared to say something to you. And I feel like even the happy birthdays, getting back to doing the happy birthdays, how many times now when I don't post it on their wall, I get right in their inbox and I send them something
Yes.
with their birthday message. And the number of
Yeah.
people who are like, you know what, I've actually been thinking, as a gift to myself for my birthday. And you're like, oh, well, happy birthday, we can do this. But it's so many people genuinely want help and are just too scared. And the same with the business. Have you guys noticed with COVID now how everybody and their dog wants to start a business from home? Like everybody and the people that you glossed over for a business opportunity and you never invited them to coaching are now like president of this lip gloss company thing. Do you know what I mean though? Like everybody is selling something from home and people are believing now in the opportunity to build a business from home, doing something that you love now more than ever. It's your birthday today. Oh my goodness, everybody has to unmute themselves. We need to sing to you. Let's do this. Unmute. We're singing to you. We're doing it. Yeah, we are. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you. Yay. Happy birthday. I'm glad that you took time out of your evening to spend it with us. And hopefully you have, she's still muted. We can't hear her. And it's telling me that I have to ask to unmute people now. Did you guys know that? I'm hosting it, but I can't unmute people. I have to ask to unmute.
I am muted.
Oh, there you are. There. Did you do something
There's a New York girl. I did my thing with my family. My son paid for my dinner with my 3 girls, my grandchildren, his wife. I was going to treat. He took up the tab. It was nice. The only thing is I wanted today to start to finally work out after years and years of procrastinating, and it's not happening tonight.
Oh no.
There's coastal ice cream and hook and reel food. Nah. And then Saturday night it was out to dinner. Yeah. I'm getting there.
Well, you'll have to post and tag us.
I am. I took some of Christine's advice there. Once she finally started to work out, she put the phone there to start doing some recordings.
Yeah.
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 So.
And it's Tina and I have been talking about like how simple it is. The simplest things that you share are mind blowing to people. Mind blowing and can inspire so many people,
Like the simplest thing of like how you switched your coffee creamer, or how you roast vegetables, or how you prepare yourself. Like, I mean, things that they just want to know. Think about you guys. Why do you go on Facebook? Why do you watch some of the people you watch? You want to know what they do on the daily. You want to know. You want to know about their kids. And then it makes you feel like you're more involved with them. You feel like you are a part of their life, and then you're more emotionally attached, and you're more willing to buy in. That's what you need to do. You just need to, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard to open our lives up. It still is hard for me. I don't want to put my kids out there all the time, and I don't. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. I don't want to put a lot of myself out there other than what I'm doing at the moment. And I still need to stretch. I still need to jump in a little further in different areas. But I also do still have that teacher hat on that I've always been told I have to be careful. I won't be, even the post I did in December, I'm in a sports bra, I'm in shorts, and that could have been taken in a very wrong way. Should I be teaching junior high or high school, right? Like, that could be taken very, very different. But it was amazing to see the emotional attachment from the write-up of the post. That is what connected. The picture was all great and dandy, whatever. And I had a lot of people say that takes a lot of balls to throw that up. And it did. It took a lot. It was one of those days where you hit the button. And I think that was the day that my business went boom, and my mind went boom, and Alida's inbox went boom, because I didn't stop. Alida this, Alida that. I'm sure she was like, Tina, just, oh my God, Tina.
No,
stop.
It got me excited, because that's what we want. Is ultimately that's what we want, is for someone to rip off the Band-Aid and to say, and for them, that's what coaching is all about, is just believing in someone more than they believe in themselves, until they're able to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and do it themselves. And you did that. You ripped off the Band-Aid and you stepped into your power, and now you have people's eyes on you, and now you're like addicted to it, and you believe that, okay, people will listen. People do want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. And
I loved your picture today on the mountain there with no top on.
Oh my God, was that you? Turn around.
Yes.
Holy shit, I just realized that right now. Oh my God. You're so funny. Oh my God, that's so funny. Someone thought that I did it today. I didn't do it today.
Well, I saw it today.
Yeah.
I said, turn around.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was just a crack of a joke.
It was cold. Yeah, you weren't the only one who said. I had somebody say that to me at the school tonight. At school pickup. I'm like, hey, somebody else said that on Instagram today. I didn't realize that was you. Now I know who you are. Amazing. Yeah. I love it.
Oh yeah, I got like a different name on Instagram for working out that I haven't done yet.
Something though. Now I get it. Now I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been really fun getting on the power hours and learning how to just rip the Band-Aid off a little bit more. And because these girls, they just do it. And I'm like, when I'm sitting on it, I get all nervous and I can't do it. But then when I turn the call off and I sit down and I'm like, and I actually sit down and go through like a tattoo, I'm looking at the local tattoo place, right? I've been getting tattooed there, and I go through all their followers, and I'm connecting with so many super rad chicks, like local, who are all tatted up, who are all fit, and like, I'm excited because like it's potential for new friends too, right? So anyway, I think I just got stale with that, and I stopped thinking, I stopped doing the things that we know we need to do in order to move the business forward. We get so caught up doing the things that are fun, like posting in our stories and stuff, that we aren't actually going to find people, and we're not actually sliding into their inbox, and we're not actually inviting them. Why not? To the things that we're doing, right? That's the only way we're going to move forward. Yeah, we should do another call on inviting and what those actually look like, sliding into people's DMs and stuff. But yeah, I haven't looked at what the power hour is tomorrow, who's hosting it yet, but Barbie will post it in the morning. You guys know that Barbie posts in her group every day who the person is that's hosting the power hour, right? See that? Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I will post the recording. Tina, she'll call you Christina. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us tonight. I really mean it when I say, like, you helped relight my fire after a challenging season in my life. And I think that it, again, just speaks volumes to, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, every single one of us, like it's on this call today, right now, it's women empowering women, and it's people inspiring people, and it's people elevating people and helping people to become better and to believe in themselves and to really step into their power. And I value you guys and the contribution that you make to this team and the contribution that you make to the world with your energy and enthusiasm all the time. Hi, Gala. You missed your face. I don't know if you were awake. I don't know where you were. Were you changing into your leopard bra and panties or something so we couldn't go on video? Like, what?
I'm laying in bed, yo.
You're allowed.
Just laying in bed, multitasking.
All right. Tina does that every night. She said, like, she keeps sliding. Oh, I slid under the covers with my earbuds and with your son. You still do that.
Yeah.
You're doing that.
Any kind of free group I can hop into, like anything from, I don't know, Jay Shetty, anything from Mel Mitchell, anything from anybody that I can improve upon or gives me, because I can say, and I think a lot of us can say, we all have seasons, and I've noticed like January, February, I kind of felt like I fell off the world. Like it just felt like it was hard. February was hard to like get moving, get motivated. I had nothing. Like I didn't want to run a group. I didn't want to find people. I just didn't want to. But you know what else I wasn't doing is I wasn't doing any of my PD. I quit reading. I kind of quit all of that. And it wasn't until I put my earbuds back in and it was like, okay. And my go-to, if you're having a day, is honestly, and I've sent so many people here, a podcast, the Brendan Bouchard podcast. And it's not his new stuff. You got to scroll down like to his old stuff, like the first podcast, or I'll find it for you girls. Just wait. It's just the Brendan show. And he's got like 9 seasons, but if you scroll down, like overcoming fear, finding your confidence, and some of them are 10 minutes, like 15 minutes, and it is a pep talk. It is a pep talk that you will need just to start your day, just to move you forward. And it's awesome. I love his podcast. So a lot of that kind of stuff and a lot of reading. The You Are a Badass book has saved me numerous times, but she also has a few more out. You Are a Badass Habits, and I just bought another one, and it's simply like 2-page little stories with quotes that will start your day also and reminds you that you are a badass and you can do anything you want. So just some of the things that I've noticed in February, I fell off, but it's because I wasn't doing that. I wasn't multitasking and hiding under the covers with my earbuds in, listening to anything I could. So don't be scared to throw that phone in your back pocket while you're doing dishes or you're vacuuming your house, and set yourself up for a great day. I think I'm gonna pass it back to Alida. I think we're ending the call pretty quick here. I think we're at our hour, unless you had something else you wanted me to talk on. Are you good?
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. I thought I was unmuted. You've been frozen for a while, so I'm like, I don't know I don't know where she is. I don't know what she's doing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was just gonna thank you again, and thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I always love connecting with you guys, and I miss our events. Like, it really is hitting home. It's been a really long time, and that lack of like that actual connection, man, it sucks. But let's keep those pictures coming. Let's post more pictures, more team photos. Let's throw it back. Let's bring back some memories. Let's get some good things going and tag each other. and get those warm, fuzzy feels going with these new March vibes. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mwah. Wait, we should take a picture. Yeah, let's take a picture. There's Lipsy. Hi, you're so cute. All right, let's see your faces. Everybody, I'm going to count down from 3. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. I will post it in the team page. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
Be
Bye.
safe.
I'm going to turn around next time.